The quantum crystal pulsed in Maya's hand, each flicker containing messages from civilizations that hadn't existed yet. As Earth's first quantum archaeologist, she'd expected to uncover humanity's past, not its future. "This can't be right," she whispered, watching impossible data streams. "They're warning us about something that happens tomorrow." The crystal's surface rippled, revealing coordinates across time itself. 100 different futures, all converging on one moment, all trying desperately to prevent it. Maya checked the timestamp again. In exactly 72 hours, every future timeline went dark. Complete extinction. And she was the only person who could decode their warning in time. The fate of humanity rested in messages from civilizations that might never exist. Dr. Maya Patel hadn't expected to make history on a routine excavation of Mars Colony Ruin 7. The quantum dating equipment had malfunctioned, showing impossible readings that pointed to dates centuries in the future. She'd almost recalibrated the device when she noticed the crystal. "Dr. Chen, you need to see this," Maya called to her research partner, carefully extracting the translucent object from the red Martian soil. The crystal, no larger than her palm, pulsed with an internal light that defied known physics. James Chen adjusted his environment suit's visor, peering at the artifact. "That's not possible. The quantum signature, it's not degrading backwards in time. It's growing stronger," Maya finished, "as if it's receiving data from somewhere ahead of us in time." Back in the Mars Research Station's quantum lab, Maya's hands trembled as she initiated the first scan. The holographic display erupted with data streams that made no sense, technological specifications centuries beyond current capabilities, mathematical concepts that hadn't been invented yet. "This isn't just advanced technology," James muttered, running another diagnostic. "These are messages. Hundreds of them, encoded in quantum states that shouldn't be stable." Maya's neural interface buzzed with incoming data. "Look at these timestamps: 2157, 2283, 2342, all from different points in the future. But why would future civilizations bury messages on Mars?" The answer came hidden in the quantum fluctuations. As Maya's decoding algorithms processed the data, patterns emerged. Each message carried the same underlying warning, repeated across multiple timelines with increasing urgency. "James?" Maya's voice cracked. "They're trying to prevent something. All these future versions of humanity. They're reaching back to warn us." The quantum crystal pulsed brighter, its internal light synchronizing with Earth's rotation. Maya's neural interface suddenly flooded with decoded fragments. Temporal nexus approaching. Shield protocols must be implemented. 72 hours until convergence. When Maya presented her findings to the Global Science Council's emergency session, she faced a wall of skepticism. "Dr. Patel," Director Williams leaned forward, "you're suggesting we have messages from civilizations that don't exist yet, warning us about an event that hasn't happened?" "I know how it sounds," Maya projected the quantum data streams. "But look at the mathematical consistency across all messages. These aren't natural phenomena. They're deliberately encoded warnings." "And you're certain about the time frame?" Williams asked. 72 hours, Maya confirmed. Whatever these future civilizations are trying to prevent, it happens then. And based on the fact that they had to reach back in time to warn us, I'd say we don't survive it in their timelines. The crystal pulsed again, stronger this time. New data patterns emerged, showing something massive approaching the solar system, something that existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously. "We need to decode these shield protocols," Maya insisted. "Every future timeline invested enormous energy to send us this warning. We can't ignore it." Director Williams studied the data for a long moment. You have 24 hours to prove this isn't a malfunction or misinterpretation. After that, we might not have a future left to save, Maya finished. As she left the council chamber, her neural interface pinged with another decoded message. Time is circular. Salvation requires understanding. Find the pattern in the chaos. Maya looked at the quantum crystal, still pulsing with impossible light. Somewhere in its crystalline structure lay the key to humanity's survival, if she could only decode it in time. The race to save humanity's future had begun. Maya's quantum lab hummed with energy as holographic timelines filled the air. 23 hours remained until William's deadline, and the crystal's pulses grew stronger by the minute. Found something, James announced, neural interface streaming data. Each timeline shows the same event, but from different technological perspectives. Look at the pattern. The holographic display shifted, overlaying hundreds of future timelines. Some showed humanity reaching the stars, others barely surviving on Earth, but all converged on a single point: tomorrow. It's like temporal triangulation, Maya realized, fingers dancing through quantum data streams. Each future is giving us a piece of the solution from their vantage point. A new message decoded: quantum resonance must be harmonized. Shield frequency, 1043 Hertz. That's impossible, James protested. We can't generate frequencies that high. We can't, Maya agreed. But look at these schematics they sent. Future civilizations learned to harness zero-point energy. They're showing us how to build it now. The crystal pulsed in sync with their discoveries. Each decoded message revealed another layer of the temporal puzzle. Future humanity hadn't just sent warnings. They'd sent complete technical specifications compressed into quantum states. Maya's neural interface suddenly overloaded with new data. She gasped as future knowledge flooded her consciousness. James, I understand now. The threat isn't just physical, it's temporal. Holographic models showed a massive disturbance approaching Earth, a temporal wave that would erase all possible futures. Future civilizations hadn't just sent messages back in time. They'd sent their entire scientific knowledge, hoping at least one timeline would survive. These energy signatures, James pointed to fluctuating patterns. They matched the quantum shield specifications perfectly. Each timeline developed the same solution independently. Because it's the only solution that works, Maya finished. She quickly composed a priority message to Director Williams, attaching decoded schematics. The response came instantly. Full council emergency session. 1 hour. Bring everything. As Maya gathered her data, the crystal revealed its most shocking secret yet. The temporal wave wasn't a natural phenomenon. It was the result of humanity's own future experiments with time. They'd created the very thing they were trying to prevent. In the council chamber, Maya faced not just Earth's scientific leaders, but military commanders and government officials from every nation. The quantum crystal contains instructions for building a temporal shield, she explained, projecting complex schematics. But it requires global cooperation. Every quantum research facility on Earth working in perfect synchronization. And if we fail? Williams asked. Maya's neural interface displayed the stark truth. Then we become another failed timeline, another future that ceased to exist. The room erupted in debate, but Maya's attention fixed on new data streaming from the crystal. Future civilizations had encoded one final message, a key that would unlock humanity's true potential. We don't just need to build a shield, she announced. We need to evolve. Right now. The specifications aren't just for technology, they're for transforming human consciousness itself. James stared at the decoded data in shock. They're not just trying to save us from extinction. They're trying to help us transcend it. Maya watched the quantum crystal pulse with increasing urgency. In less than 48 hours, humanity would either evolve or cease to exist. The choice was theirs. But first, they had to convince a planet to unite in ways never before imagined. The temporal puzzle was solved. Now came the hard part, implementation. 47 hours until impact. The Global Science Council had transformed into humanity's last command center. Quantum computers worldwide synchronized their processors as Maya coordinated the largest scientific endeavor in human history. Quantum facilities in Beijing and New Delhi are online, James reported, his neural interface streaming status updates. Tokyo and Sydney standing by. We're still waiting on European grid synchronization. Maya's hands flew through holographic controls, the crystal pulsing in rhythm with her movements. We need all grids operational within 6 hours. The shield harmonics require a full 40-hour charge cycle. The crystal had revealed another layer of data, detailed maps showing exactly where the temporal wave would hit first. Every major population center would be affected simultaneously. Reality itself unraveling from the quantum level up. Dr. Patel, Director Williams interrupted. Moscow is refusing to synchronize their grid. They're claiming this is an attempt to access their quantum defense systems. Maya slammed her fist on the console. Show me a direct link to Moscow command. The holographic display shifted, showing the stern face of Director Petrov. Maya didn't waste time on pleasantries. The temporal wave doesn't care about national security. She projected the crystal's latest data. Look at these simulations. When it hits, quantum coherence breaks down across all timelines. No exceptions, no survivors. These readings, Petrov leaned forward, scientific curiosity overcoming political caution. They're impossible. Exactly, Maya pressed her advantage. Just like the quantum crystal's existence is impossible. Yet here we are, receiving warnings from futures that desperately want us to survive. A tense moment passed. Then, Moscow grid coming online, full synchronization in 3 minutes. James checked the global status board. That's all of them. Every major quantum research facility on Earth, working as one system. Maya initiated the final decoding sequence. The crystal's light filled the command center as it revealed the complete shield specifications. What they saw left them speechless. This isn't just a defensive shield, Maya whispered. It's an evolutionary catalyst. The temporal wave's energy can be harnessed, transformed. They're showing us how to ride the wave instead of being destroyed by it. You mean we're supposed to let it hit us? Williams demanded. Not exactly, Maya pointed to the quantum calculations. We're supposed to transform with it. The shield doesn't just protect us. It uses the wave's energy to accelerate human consciousness to the next level of evolution. James studied the specifications. The power requirements are astronomical. We'll need to tap into Earth's core plasma fields just to initialize the harmonics. Then do it, Williams ordered. Full authorization granted. Whatever we need to survive. Maya's neural interface buzzed with incoming data from quantum facilities worldwide. Humanity had never been this unified, this focused on a single goal. The crystal pulsed stronger, feeding them critical timing sequences. Core plasma taps engaging, James announced. Shield harmonics at 12% and rising. Maya watched the countdown timer. 41 hours remaining. They would need every second. The crystal sent one final message before beginning its transformation into the shield's central processor. Evolution requires sacrifice. Unity brings transcendence. The future is now. Humanity's greatest test had begun. Not just to survive, but to become something entirely new. The race against time had become a race toward destiny. 20 hours until impact. The quantum shield hummed at 67% capacity, a shimmering field of possibility surrounding Earth. In the command center, Maya watched as humanity's consciousness began to shift. The first changes were subtle. Quantum researchers worldwide reported increased neural synchronization. Their interfaces were picking up thoughts before they were fully formed. The crystal's energy was already beginning to transform them. Shield harmonics stabilizing at 1043 Hz, James reported, his voice carrying an unusual resonance. But there's something else happening. The field is learning. Maya felt it too. Each pulse of the shield brought new awareness, new connections forming between minds across the globe. The future civilizations hadn't just given them technology, they'd given them the key to collective consciousness. Neural activity spikes detected in all major population centers, Director Williams announced, her own neural interface glowing with unprecedented energy. We're seeing quantum entanglement between human consciousness and the shield matrix. The crystal, now integrated into Earth's core plasma network, pulsed with blinding intensity. New data streamed directly into their enhanced consciousness, revealing the true nature of the approaching wave. It's not just a temporal phenomenon, Maya understood suddenly. It's a test. Every civilization reaches this point, the moment they must choose between extinction and transcendence. James's eyes widened as his enhanced mind grasped the implications. The future versions of humanity, they're not just warning us. They're guiding us through our own evolutionary leap. The shield's frequency reached critical harmonics. Across the globe, billions of human minds began resonating in sync with the quantum field. Individual consciousness expanded, merged, evolved. 15 hours to impact, the automated system announced. Shield capacity at 89%. Maya's transformed consciousness reached out, touching minds across continents. She felt humanity's fear, their hope, their determination to survive. But more than that, she felt their potential, the future they could become. The wave isn't coming to destroy us, she broadcast globally through the neural network. It's coming to complete us. The shield isn't just protection, it's an evolutionary cocoon. Director Williams, her consciousness now part of the greater whole, understood. We need to push the shield beyond its limits, not to block the wave, but to harmonize with it. The crystal's final transformation began. Its structure expanded through quantum space, creating a lattice of pure possibility around the Earth. Every human mind connected to it became part of something greater, a new form of existence that transcended physical limitations. 10 hours, James called out, his voice echoing through both physical and quantum space. Shield at maximum capacity, neural synchronization complete. Maya felt the approaching wave, not as a threat, but as the next step in human evolution. The future civilizations had encoded the truth in the crystal. This moment was always meant to happen. All quantum facilities, prepare for final sequence, she commanded through the global neural network. When the wave hits, we ride it into tomorrow. The shield's light engulfed the planet, transforming everything it touched. Humanity stood united, minds linked, ready to become something new. The future was no longer a warning, it was a promise. 1 year after the temporal wave, Earth pulsed with new life. Humanity had not just survived, they had transformed into something their past selves could barely comprehend. Maya stood in the quantum archives, now a vast complex of crystalline structures that stored both data and consciousness. The original crystal that started everything sat in a central display, still pulsing with the same impossible light. The first quantum archaeological find that changed everything, she mused, her thoughts resonating through the global consciousness network. Nearby, James manipulated temporal equations with pure thought, his enhanced mind pushing the boundaries of what was once considered possible. Latest temporal scans are in, he shared through their linked consciousness. We've confirmed it. We are now creating those future timelines that sent us the warning. The loop is closing. The human species had evolved beyond physical limitations. Their consciousness could now traverse quantum states, explore multiple timelines, and even communicate across temporal boundaries. The very nature of existence had been redefined. Director Williams, or what she had become, manifested in the archives. Her form shifted between states of energy and matter, a visual representation of humanity's new nature. The Council of Temporal Affairs has approved the first intentional message to our past. We're ready to complete the circle. Maya understood the profound responsibility. They would now encode the same crystal that had saved them, ensuring it would be discovered on Mars by her past self. The temporal loop had to be maintained, the evolution of consciousness preserved across all timelines. But we're adding something new, she announced, sharing her insight through the collective consciousness. Not just warning and instructions, but a deeper truth, the understanding that humanity's greatest strength was always its ability to transform. The global quantum network hummed with agreement. Earth had become a beacon across time and space, a testament to the power of unified consciousness and evolved understanding. James initiated the temporal encoding sequence. Multiple futures, infinite possibilities, all converging on this moment of transformation. We're not just preserving our timeline, we're ensuring every possible version of humanity has the chance to evolve. The crystal accepted their encoded messages, its quantum structure resonating with the accumulated wisdom of a transformed species. Soon, it would be transported back through time, buried in the Martian soil, waiting to be discovered. Maya touched the crystal one last time, adding a final message for her past self. The end was just the beginning. Evolution is not a destination, but a journey. The future is watching, waiting, believing in what we can become. Around Earth, the quantum shield had become a permanent field of consciousness, connecting all of humanity in ways once thought impossible. Children were born already linked to the collective knowledge of their species, yet maintaining their unique individual essence. Ready for transport, James announced. The crystal would make its journey across time, carrying the seeds of humanity's transformation. Maya watched as the original crystal began its temporal journey, knowing that somewhere in the past she would find it and begin this cycle again. But this time, she added something new to the temporal loop, a hint of what lay beyond even this evolution. Because humanity's journey wasn't over. This was just the first step into an infinite cosmos of consciousness and possibility. The quantum archaeologist who had uncovered humanity's future had become the architect of its destiny. And somewhere, across the quantum fields of reality, countless other civilizations were beginning their own journeys of transformation, guided by the light of human evolution. End report. Timeline status, secure evolution status, ongoing future status, infinite archive. Note, this document is quantum encoded for temporal stability. Access requires evolved consciousness protocols.